Hello, 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 hello. What do we have here? Why is that all gunky? There we go. Wow. Wow, what a day, what a day, what a day. Are we live? We are live. We are on the channel. We are ready to rock and roll. And we've got one of the best parts about going live and seeing everybody here and just enjoying each other's company here on the channel. We have got some great content, and I see that we've got one chat. Actually, two chats now. I'm behind now. But we've got Hog Wild Ham is first, and they've been on the channel. Actually, he got on before I did. I got a comment before I even had I was even ready to go live. So thanks for hanging out with us. It's one of those things. And of course, Jeff is saying, of course, you are live, John. Thank you for that, Jeff. And just leave a comment in the chat. We will get to those things as they come in. If you have any questions throughout the night, feel free to just respond. And we will get to your questions as they come up. And yeah, we're going to have a great, great night. So, what's the best thing about live productions? I asked a question in today's intro on the slate. I asked, why stream? Why do we bother even going live, even discussing? Excuse me. I was scarfing down dinner before I even got done. So bear with me. I apologize. So what is the ultimate thing about live streaming that even draws the normal person in? I was actually watching some videos this morning, and Jeff, if you can hear me, go ahead and leave me a comment in the chat if you can hear me okay and everything sounds good. One of the videos I was watching this morning, and I was watching it on the premise that why streamers are confused about the different platforms. What are the rules about who can stream where, and all of that. And with everything that they were saying, everything that they were going through, they got into this conversation about Twitch, which I just started streaming on Twitch, my gaming. So if you like watching Fortnite, come hang out. Feel free to join the Twitch stream. You find me JAmemories over at Twitch. I stream 3 or 4 times a week. So, if that's what you like to do, then jump on and we'll have some fun together. Jeff does say audio is good, so thank you, Jeff, for that. And I think I should make you a moderator, Jeff. But we'll wait a little bit. If the stream starts going crazy, I'll make you a moderator. But one of the things that I have always struggled with was, why stream? Last week we talked about the difference between OWS, OBS, and the ATEMs. We discussed the differences. We discussed the week before, we talked about the different variations of ATEMs. And one of the things that I noticed was the fact that, let me see. I can't see my meter that tells me I'm online. So as of right now, we're good. So everything looks good. I got 3 concurrent viewers. So I started to question the OBS. And I wanted to give it a fair shake. Now, I will be honest with you. I gave OBS another shot tonight. You saw the animation at the intro. The countdown clock is running off OBS. But in all honesty, I'm not pleased with OBS. I started streaming on OBS. I actually did a stream strictly on OBS. Used my ATEMs as a feed into OBS for the cameras, but let OBS do all the heavy lifting. The stream, the chat, the overlays, everything like that. And whether it be my computer or OBS itself, I just didn't have much luck. So one of the things that I decided was, okay, it's not going to be beneficial for me to stream via OBS, but at the same time, I like the ATEM. And I like the fact that I can use OBS as a media player. I can use OBS as a overlay, and I can use OBS for all of the variations thereof. So I decided I'm going to give OBS a little bit more time, load up, because before I was running OBS nonstop for overlays, graphics, and for stuff like that. But now, ever since they came out with OBS 28, I ran into the problem of it's using more processor speed. And I've reached out to the team at OBS. I've reached out to the Facebook groups, and they have noticed a significant increase in the usage, but no one seems to understand why or what the reasoning is that certain computers are using more processor on OBS compared to, say, version 26 or even 27. So right now, I just upgraded OBS to version 28.03, I believe it is. And so we're going to give it a shot. We're going to go live on Twitch this evening after the live tech talk. And we're going to see what happens. Because using overlays, using backgrounds, and chat integration is a lot easier when you have OBS with, say, Streamlabs or Stream Elements or even owned TV. So if you don't know what those are, they're just plug-in packages that you can get and use to create a more interactive stream. And it does stream overlays, alerts, integrations, and things like that make it so that your stream has all the bells and whistles without having to hit a bunch of keys. On my stream, I'm having to do all the work, all the heavy lifting, and I've actually got a plan over the next couple weeks to basically redo my entire setup. The reason being is, one, I use the Stream Deck alongside Companion to run my stream. Now, when you think about it, when you're not used to that, it sounds very complicated. But the tools that were created with Companion, with the ATEM, the whole entire ATEM line, just different elements that you can tie into Companion, make it so that your streams can work seamlessly. I have no idea why my camera just glitched out. I apologize for that. I saw that come up on the stream and that made no sense. So, why stream? Let's get down to the down and dirty conversation of why stream, which brings up a bunch of other questions, but we'll get to those in a minute. Why stream? One of the key elements to streaming is understanding the premise behind what you're wanting to get out there. So if you're going to stream, you're going to stream with the idea that you have a message to share. You have something that you want to get out there, and whether it's a flooded market or an untapped market or a semi-saturated market, if you have a vision and you have a goal of presenting something that people want to hear, that you feel passionate about, that's why you stream. Now, as we discussed last week, everybody has a cell phone. Everybody, I take that back. Not everybody has a cell phone. There are plenty of people who do not have a cell phone. But there's enough of people out there that have cell phones that go live on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. There's now Telegram. There's other platforms that are being built that you can go live on. And one of the things that we have to keep in mind is the fact that every platform has their own rules, has their own algorithms. And if your sole purpose to go live is to become famous, is to rack in the bucks and make a big payday, you're in for a big disappointment. Doesn't matter what platform you start out with, if that's your sole purpose, you're going to burn out before you even get close to becoming a star. Now, I follow plenty of streamers online, content creators, and people of the sort. And one of the things that I have learned over the course of watching their videos is the fact that you can't walk in expecting everything to go well the first time. You can't be discouraged by a zero presence stream. I follow certain streamers that say if you're going to stream on Twitch, turn off the viewer count. And act like there's 100 people in the room. And that's what I've done. I don't worry about how many people are in the room. I don't worry about the streams. The only thing I worry about is I watch the stream strength and the stream health. Make sure that everything's good. Because at the end of the day, it comes back to we want to make sure that our stream is healthy, whole, and the message that we're sharing is brought out. But that doesn't answer the question, why stream? Well, in 2020, when the pandemic hit, it was almost like everybody had to. You had to, for some people, it was the only way that they could continue working. Zoom skyrocketed in 2020 because there was a platform that people could use to have virtual meetings, whether it was one-on-one or 1,000 people. You could all jump on a Zoom call, and through a few managed portals, you can manage a large community of people. Now, so 2020 kind of got everybody, the normal person, streaming. And once everybody got used to it, it became the norm. Now, before 2020, who was streaming? You had content creators, you had gamers, and you had what is called brand influencers. Brand influencers are those who like a certain trend, whether it be clothing, cars, you name it. You name the industry. And you will have brand influencers in that field who started streaming to help offset the cost of their brand influencing lifestyle. And the industry liked that because they've got their brand out in the world. I know personally, I know many people who were doing social media influencing. I mean, think about Instagram. Instagram started with the idea that people would become brand influencers and they would build up their Instagram profiles because they were promoting someone else's brand. And as a result, the person doing it would reap the benefits of not only getting a large audience, but also being able to reap the benefit of, hey, you promote my product, I'm going to let you keep the samples that you promote. It was a win-win for the company because the company also, by having an influential person promote their stuff, they now had a wider range than just what they themselves could go out and do. Because let's take, for example, a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl. Those things range from, my gosh, I mean, it could cost $1 million, if not more. I don't even know what it costs anymore for a Super Bowl commercial. But it's well into the millions of dollars for a 30-second commercial. So if you could get 5 people on Instagram to promote your products, and all it costs you is to ship a few samples to that person, and each of those people have a brand influencer of 3 to 5 million subscribers, not including those people who look at their profiles that don't subscribe? Yes. Is it as wide as the Super Bowl audience? Probably not. But you're more likely to get people to purchase of someone who follows 2 million, has 2 million to 4 million subscribers than you would possibly getting on a 30-second commercial. So prior to 2020, those were the streamers. Those were the people that would, invest in the equipment, invest in the time, and create the content that is now flooded on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the others. Now moving on to, thank you, Jeff. I see that it's for this year, believe it or not, that is unbelievable. 32nd spot, $5.6 million. Hey, seriously, who in the right mind would even pay that? Seriously, who would pay that? I take that back. That was last year's. That was post-pandemic. That was right after the pandemic. That blows my mind. Who in their right mind would pay $5.6 million for a 32nd spot? Now, I did hear, that this year's spots for the Super Bowl are already filling up. And that might be why I don't know what the price is right now. Because obviously the Super Bowl is still 7 months away, and we had just started the season. So all of that being said, 2020 hit. Everybody started streaming. A lot of people realized, hey, this is cool. I can get on. I can do things. They had to invest in the money. They had to invest, whether it was corporate or personal. They had to invest in their equipment simply because, hey, I've got to have the equipment for my everyday work. But now, so they're all sitting here. Things are coming down. The pandemic is winding down, and people are starting to go back to work. People are starting to integrate and interact with each other. There are still those that prefer to work from home, work in that isolated environment. But for the majority, most people would prefer, I honestly think, to meld together and as my mother would say, have a hug once in a while. I don't know about you, but there's a time and a place to be isolated. And then there's the rest of the time where, being able to see people, interact with people. When I was working from home, and I had to work from home for about 3 to 4 months. I said about 3 months. But I had to work from home, and not being able to just mull over things with coworkers, to discuss the ins and outs of what life is about, and just figure out things with other people was nerve-wracking. Because my workload didn't change. Still had, in fact, to some degree, my workload doubled or tripled. And I didn't have anyone to talk to. I didn't have a chance to interact with coworkers and discuss, well, this is going on and this is a problem. So how do we deal with it, and this and that, and it was really tough. And now I'm not one to hug my coworkers, but just being able to chit chat with them and sit down to lunch and just talk about life. If some of you are huggers and probably would enjoy an occasional hug when life gets hard, or even just to say hi to somebody. That's how you greet them. And that's where you are able to change the revolving door that is life in itself. So now we're sitting here post-pandemic, everybody's back to work, and you all have these equipments that you had to purchase beforehand, and you're sitting there, and now you're going, okay, we've got the equipment. We've got some understanding of what we're doing. What do we do with it? Well, as far as the majority of what I work with is churches, when the pandemic hit and their doors were shut, they had to get their messages out. Facebook was the first one, and then people jumped on Facebook, and then they jumped on YouTube. Now that the pandemic's open, everybody's able to come back to church, and people want that connection. The whole idea of, hey, there's a whole world out there that we can reach. And that's where we find churches today is they have the whole setup ready to go. Let's keep it going. So, and just so you know, Jeff says, I'll hug you, John. Well, Jeff, thank you. I'll take that hug. You know, it's always good when you know people, and I know Jeff personally, so that's not weird at all. So you know, I kind of was waiting for that comment when I made that comment about hugs. I knew something was going to come from Jeff about hugs, but regardless, that's another story down the road. So the ultimate question comes down to why stream? That's where we started. That's where we're going to end. Why stream? Streaming, the whole purpose of streaming, if you do this for any other reason than this, then you're doing it wrong. And I say this regardless of what kind of stream you're doing. Streaming is so that you personally can share what you want to share. Done. Stream's over. That's it. That's the whole purpose of streaming. You have something that you want to share with people, and now you have a gateway open to the entire world. Okay, give or take a couple closed countries. The majority of the world, you now have an avenue to go out there and share what you know, what you like, what you yeah, Jeff, you're very funny. You have this door wide open. And coming from a Christian background, coming from a biblical understanding, God always opens up doors. Technology is one of those things that, yes, the church has kind of tried to stay behind in the times of technology. But the whole point of technology is if the world's going to use it, let's get going. Let's get out there and utilize what's available. Now, we all want to do stuff. We all want to make money. And that brings me up to the premise behind JAmemories. Why do I stream? And I apologize for hitting the mic so much. mic is literally right in front of my face, and I move my hands, and so I apologize if you're hearing bumps on the feed because of my hitting the mic. I apologize. It's a shock-mounted mic, so hopefully that helps absorb some of the feed, but if not, again, I apologize. So why does JAmemories stream? We started out with a biblical show on we go live on Saturday nights. Now we stream primarily on Facebook for that show, but we are synchronized on YouTube at the same time. Why? Isn't there tons of people who give messages to people? Isn't there other pastors and preachers? It doesn't matter. I like streaming. There's two reasons I stream. One, I feel like God's told me to stream and share the messages that He has. And two, it gives me great opportunities to play with lovely toys. If you know anything about me, if you've hung out with me any length of time, you would know that I love technology. I love hitting buttons. I love finding out what little things happen, how things work. And yes, I break plenty of stuff. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love breaking things and figuring out how it works. Companies don't like it when I call them because I always question why things work the way they work. The engineers and the technicians, and most of the time the tech support that gets on the phone, they're reading from a manual. They have a prescribed way of a prescribed order of how to fix stuff. I can guarantee you by the time I'm calling you, I have done everything on that list. Why? Because I mess around with technology. I love, especially when it comes to video and some audio. Why? Because that's what I like. I like being able to figure things out. I love new technology. I love being able to mess around with things that just work. Now, I have gotten my hands on some awesome stuff, and I have gotten my hands on stuff that looks great on paper, looks great when I'm looking it up online, and when I get it, I'm so disappointed. And the worst thing for me is when you get a piece of paper or you get a piece of equipment. You've done your due diligence. You've gotten all of the, you've done all the homework. You've looked up all the specs, and then you plug it in, and all of a sudden, the very thing that you were wanting to do, the very reason you purchased that simple piece of equipment, it's the one thing it does not do. I bought a projector and it doesn't project. What? Believe me, it happens. There are things out there that will claim to put to I can't even think of it right now. Okay, audio processor. You have a piece of hardware. It does great. And then the company comes up and says, "Hey, let's make another copy. Let's upgrade." So you go and they tout the fact that this is a great upgrade. This is the best thing since sliced bread. Let's spend $1,000, $1,500. Hey, let's go broke and spend $5,000. Who cares, right? It's just money. Let's go out and do it. You get it, going thinking, oh my gosh, this is the next version. They had to improve things. They've had to give us more features. You get it? And all of a sudden you realize half of what the first one does is not included in the first one. Oh, sorry. What was in the first one is not in the second one. And everything that you don't need is in the second one. So it sits on the shelf. And you're back using the first one. Believe me, it happens in the technology world. The other on the flip side is you spend $5-6 grand on an awesome computer. You spec it out, you do the research, you do the homework, and all of a sudden you place your order. And you're sitting there waiting for your package. And it's tracking 3 days. Be there in 2 days. It'd be there tomorrow. And then next thing in your email is, hey, look, here's the upgraded version of it. Everything that you wanted in the first version is now in the second version. You haven't even gotten your computer, and now there's a new version for it. Happens all the time. Technology is a fast-moving, it's like a fastball. If you blink, you'll miss it. Technology is one of those things that can frustrate you, make you happy, and and make you scream all in the same second. For that matter, in the same microsecond. One of the things that I have learned over the years, over the time, is you can't always be looking for what's new, what's emerging. It's good to know what's emerging. It's good to know what's coming up. It's good to know what technology there is. But you have to, at some point, make a decision. I'm going to go here. I'm going to stick with what I've got and not worry about what's coming out tomorrow or the next day or the next day after that. Because there'll always be something else after that. It's like a cell phone. You know, I own the Samsung Galaxy phones. I've been a Samsung Galaxy phone guy since, I think, S3. The Samsung S3. And every year, without fail, they'll come out with a new Samsung S, whatever, 4, 5, 6, whatever. Do I spend the money every year buying a new phone? No. I go out, I look at what's available, I look at, okay, so the phones come out in 7, right? 7. Comes out in August, roughly around August or September. That's when they release. So I need a new phone. Okay, so it's July. Can I wait till September, or do I need a phone right now? If I need a phone right now, I'm going to the store and buying what's available right now. I'm not waiting until I'm not going to go the route of, I'm going to buy this now and then in September I'm going to buy the new one. No. I'm going to buy what's available now and then several years down the road change on my phone. Now, there are plenty of people out there that the minute something new comes out, they're at the store buying the new stuff. And that's a great thing for them. But it all comes down to money. One of the things that I have learned over the years, and I've learned a lot, if you couldn't tell. One thing I've learned over the years is money is one of the only things that holds people from getting the best things. If we all had thousands and thousands and millions and billions of dollars, there would be nothing to hold us back from getting everything that we wanted. Which brings me to the next point of the fact that here at JA Memories, we have a vision, we have a dream of providing two things. Providing support, I take that back, three things. Providing support for you to build your own streaming platform. Build your own streaming setup. Whatever that looks like. Two, provide a equipment so that we can do your stream for you. Because I'll be honest with you, there are businesses, churches, and individuals who have no desire of going live every single day. There's churches, businesses, and individuals who have no reason to go live every day. So there's no reason to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on a streaming setup if you're not going to use it. So we at JA Memories have a vision and dream of having quality equipment so that we can roll into a building, we can roll into someone's home, we can roll into a church, set up our equipment, and go live and stream their service, stream their podcast, stream whatever. And third, the third thing that we have a dream of is to have a space that people can come and stream or record or whatever it is. Those three things are the three biggest things that we want to do here. Now, the support, we do already. That we have been doing that since June, actually before June, but officially with JAmemories LLC, we have started streaming, supporting churches, individuals, and small businesses in building up their streaming platforms. I have had great success. I continue to talk with the people that are involved with all of them. Two of them are still paying customers, or clients, I should say. So those things are revolving. Now, the equipment, I would not feel comfortable taking my setup that I have here and taking it to someone's home and doing a podcast or even a live stream. Why? Because it's not top quality equipment. It's what I have available. That's what I use. I am frugal when it comes to what I have and what I need. I'm not going... Example. On Amazon, I have a wish list for what I consider JA Memories build. For the studio build that I want to build here. It sits there as a reminder of where I want to be in the next couple years. If I can get there faster, great. If not, I leave it in God's hands as to how fast I get it. But that's sitting at $19,000. That's equipment for cameras, cabling, tripods, computer gear, decks, and all of that, audio. Plus, it's always nice to know what equipment I'm looking for. So, when you think about it and you see what you want and how to get it, that's when it comes down to this is why we're doing what we're doing. Now, the ultimate question comes down to, we asked it 5 or 6 times, why stream? And the answer comes simply to, this is what I want to do. Now, I will tell you, everyone I've talked to, every streamer I've watched, every consultant person that I've inquired with has stated, streaming's good, but it can't be the only thing you do. You have to create content outside of live streams. You have to create content that simply uploads. Now, we have not done that here at JAmemories. Something I am looking into, something that I am trying to figure out the best course of action. But at the same time, you've got to do what you've got to do. Now, if you don't have the content to create videos, then make sure that you're creating content out of your streams. Make your videos, whether you keep them completely whole the way they are online, or if you trim them down, make shorts out of them. You are making highlights out of your reels. Leave your content available for people to find afterwards. Start utilizing the features built into Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook. YouTube does have a community tab, but I think unless you have a large audience, it's not worth using. Now, if you have a large audience, go ahead and use it. Post your content there. Post announcements. And then, of course, you want to interact with your audience. Whether that's answering questions on the chat when you're live, going back and following up on your content and your comments on your videos. Now, I'm sitting here in a room with eight monitors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 monitors. 10 screens. I've got 4 computers operational at the moment. I've got one sitting off to the side that's not turned on. You go, well, if you have all that, what do you need $19,000 for? Well, unfortunately, that all the screens, they do all the fun stuff, but as far as cameras go, a good quality camera, as Jeff so eloquently says, good audio and video equipment isn't cheap. It's not. Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, give me one more screen, Jeff. That would make the room perfect. Just one more screen. I have no idea what I put up on it, but that would make my life all much better, and my wife would be so thrilled if I had one more screen. If you couldn't tell, that was sarcasm. I mean, yes, I have a reason for every screen. Use one 75-inch screen. Yeah. No, thank you. No, I don't think so. Because then I'd have to have a multi-viewer. And that could just get crazy. 8 different sources. 2 of my screens are multi-viewers as they are right now. Yeah, I don't see that happening, Jeff. Yeah. Get the wife to agree to that. No, I'm not even going to address that. Because I can tell you what she'd say. She wants a 75-inch in the living room before she gets me one down here. Actually, no, she doesn't want a 75-inch. I think she sold on a 55-inch. But believe it or not, screens are not the expensive part. Screens are not the expensive part. The expensive part is all the hardware. You look at Walmart or Amazon or Best Buy, screens are a dime a dozen. I can buy a 65-inch now. I saw a 65-inch at Walmart the other day for like $400 to $500. And they're not bad screens. They're not like the old days where you buy a $400 screen, $500 screen, and it lasts you 3 or 4 months and then die on you. No, these are, now I'm not talking about the OLED screens where a 65-inch screen's $5,000 or $6,000, but computer monitors, and believe it or not, and here's the funny thing. Because of the world of HDMI, a TV, a smart TV, is actually cheaper than a regular computer screen. I was looking at a 49-inch widescreen computer monitor, and now it cost, I want to say about $1,500. And for $1,500, I can get two 75-inch TVs from Costco. Really? So, one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at technology is you gotta be smart. And when you first start out, don't waste your money on a bunch of equipment. Get your content out there. Get consistent with what you're doing. One of the things that we are trying our best to do is maintaining our schedule. Life is difficult. There is a lot going on all the time, and life will dominate your time if you let it. If you're going to go live with whatever you're going to go live with, make the time to actually stick to your schedule. And if you have to fudge once in a while, that's fine. I've had to punch once in a while. You're literally not available, or you think you have time and something happens and you're not. I remember when Andrew and I went to Vegas this summer, I wanted to stream from Vegas. I had everything with me. I had the cameras, I had the cases, I had the equipment, had everything turned on, and I could not get a steady connection at all. I couldn't even stream from my cell phone to let you guys know it wouldn't work. I ended up having to just post a little video, or not a video. Actually, I don't know if I posted the video or if I posted the comments on Facebook and letting you all know that JAmemories was not going to go live. So, a few things to wrap up of what's going on with JAmemories. We have, I will tell you today, and I'll drop it in the comments, the link for it. We have officially started a GoFundMe page. Now, that does not mean that you have to go out and sponsor the channel. You have to go and give money to the channel. But if I'm going to get money for the stream, if I'm going to get money for the channel, I've got to start putting things out there for people to support. So, if you want to, great. Greatly appreciated. If you don't want to give, that's not going to bother me one bit. And so I'll drop the GoFundMe link on the video description after the video. I was debating about whether to do it or not, but I honestly think it's a good time to do that. The GoFundMe page is everything that comes into the GoFundMe page is going to go back into the business. Everything we get in will go towards equipment. It will go towards expenses. Because running a stream every day or every couple days is not cheap. Just running the technology is not cheap. So you got to consider that. You got to consider the fact that, I need tools. So all the subscriptions that I pay for out of my own pocket to make content and to put stuff together, all of that needs to be paid for. So yes. So we have a GoFundMe page. So I'll put the link in there. Now, if you look at the description of this video and some of the last couple of videos that I've done, you will notice that there are affiliate links for certain equipment. What's all that about? Well, we have linked up with Amazon and joined the associate program with Amazon. So we have affiliate links for Amazon. And occasionally I will drop equipment, tools, things that I feel that benefit this channel in an affiliate link. And if you decide you want to purchase something, click on the link. Check it out. If it works, great. It doesn't cost you a dime. It doesn't cost you a penny extra. But what happens is Amazon, because I'm an associate with them now, will give me a small commission based on what ships to you. So that's another way you can support the channel. Now, here's some cheap, in fact, free ways you can support the channel. Obviously, we can't monetize the channel or even offer super chats until we hit 100 subscribers. So share the videos, like the videos, comment after the streams are over, get the algorithm going so that these videos go somewhere. And if none of this works, if at the end of the day we just sit here and chat, that's fine too. Because I'm not doing this to make money. Money comes, money goes, and I've learned that it's going to be there or not going to be there. I don't want this to be about making money. And as Jeff has said, like, share, and subscribe. That percentage 26 is the end symbol. So like, share, and subscribe. That's the free way of doing it. It doesn't hurt you. We go live at least twice a week. So we're getting content out there. If you don't like one of the shows, don't watch it. Not going to offend me. If you want to know something, ask a question. Just like Jeff's up on the chat, I'll throw your comment up and answer it the best that I can. And here's the thing. Do I know everything about everything? No. If I can find out the answer, I'll figure it out. If I can't figure it out during the show, I'll definitely get back to you about it. But that's the joys of life. That's what makes this, what we're doing here, so exciting. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy. The world is going to make excuses, and they're going to make it as hard as they can. And we know the world we live in now, right now, things don't come easy. And in all honesty, the streaming world is completely flooded. In some places, it's oversaturated. It's so oversaturated that you'd be lucky if you even make a dent. But if you let that be the driving force behind you not doing anything, you're never going to accomplish anything. I've heard many, many streamers who have started from nothing and become some of the greatest streamers out there. Just do it. If you don't want to start out by streaming to a large audience, do a private stream. Practice. Get used to being in front of the camera. Get used to the blinding lights. My son was sitting here the other day playing his game, and I was prepping some stuff, getting shows ready and making sure that stuff was up and running for my live stream that night. And he goes, "How can you sit here in these blinding lights?" I don't know. I just do every Sunday. Actually, it's every Saturday that I go live, but I do it every Saturday. Everyone's different. And that's what makes life that much more beautiful. Yeah. All right. I think we're going to end on this comment. Once it comes in. So, yeah, I don't know where that comment came from. Like, share, and subscribe, because I don't see it up on the YouTube chat. But it came into my social media platform. But here's a question. Here's a comment for you. I think you need more lighting. That or makeup. Well, I can guarantee you one thing. I'm not wearing makeup. Not for this show. If I go full broadcast, maybe that's something different. But I can guarantee you, I'm not wearing makeup for this show. If you want me to wear makeup, you better be hoping I'm wearing a clown outfit, because that's about the only way I'm going to wear makeup. Because I'm not even sure I wear makeup for Halloween. So, yeah, that's just not happening. But the lighting, depending on what camera you get, and that's something we can talk about at a different time, but the lighting that you have, the camera you have, the lens you have, will require different lighting. I actually have sufficient lighting for the cameras that I have. And one of the things, and I've painstakingly got stuff worked out. And because I actually matched, took me a couple days, but I did match my second camera right here. I actually have a second camera that I can use. I actually have it set up so that I can do cutaways and stuff like that. But the lighting is good for even this shot. So it makes sense that, yes, sometimes you do need lighting. But by the same token, you'd be amazed with how little light you need. Now it comes down to what type of light, what type of the space you're in, how controlled your lights are, what kind of look you're trying to go with, so that, because I use the same lighting for all three of my shows. The difference is the configuration of those lights, how bright they are. For my Twitch feeds where I play my video game, I don't want my face this bright. I want it a little bit subtle. I want it toned down. I want a different color temperature. I want my colored lights back here, right back there, I want that to pop. So I bring my overall lights down. I have a light back here that's doing this right here, giving me a little bit of separation between the background and me. And that's key, making sure you have the right kinds of lights. Where's your light even shining? Are your lights way off in the distance, or are they more towards here? And I've seen where streamers only use one primary light, and they let the other side fade out. I'm not big on that, but some people like that look. And it all comes down to what you feel comfortable doing and the space that you are utilizing. And then, of course, you always have the option of going radio. Radio, you don't need any lights. For that matter, radio, you don't even need a camera. Though I have noticed a lot more people in radio have a simple camera, usually in the back corner, shining behind them, just doing an overhead shot, Kind of hard in this situation because it's tight. But but that's the thing, do what you want to do. Jeff says, let me see if I can get to his comments. Lighting is 100% a full live stream on its own. It's its own nightmare. It says the person who doesn't do lighting. I have been doing lighting since 2000. Actually, I started doing lighting back in 99. So for me, lighting is natural. It's something that I've learned over the years. I like doing it. And of course, Jeff likes this comment. Some of us have the perfect face for radio. For a long time, I thought I was one of them. But yeah, here I am, sitting in front of the camera. Believe it or not, I worked so many years behind the camera, behind the scenes. In fact, I wasn't even behind the camera. I was actually in the control room. So being in front of the camera, anyone can do it. And that's what makes life all that better, is when you learn the tricks of the trade. You learn the ins and outs of life. And some still haven't learned. Haven't learned what? Lighting? Well, I have watched some streams that streams and that's where the difference between a setup like this and a just grabbing your cell phone in any space you're in and just shooting. Though I have to admit, some cell phones have awesome cameras for low light. Some of the cameras are just that best way. The camera itself is awesome. Now, the one caveat I have about people who use their face cams is the fact that most platforms have a way of mirroring your image. So why do I say that? Why do I even bring that up? You see the book back here says Daily Journal? You could read Daily Journal. When you grab a cell phone and use the face cam, it flips your image. So this becomes this. Now, for some, they don't care. That's just the way they are. But they're wearing words on their shirt. They've got a hat with words on their head. They've got a board behind them. And everything's backwards. And it's hard to read. And it's distracting. And like I said, most softwares have a way of mirroring your image so that your words look right. Most of the time, your face, they're not going to know that your face is inverted. Your left is actually your right, and your right is your left. I was talking to my brother the other day. We were on Zoom, and he actually prefers the image backwards. So when he points to the left, that's where he's pointing, and it's the right way for him. Me, it's opposite. So that's why sometimes when I'm pointing, I'll do this because I want to go over here, but I try to go over there. So, and and Jeff goes back to that and goes, face for audio, radio, video, not as funny when you have to explain it. Jeff, it's always funny when you say stuff. So, yes. That's just the way you are. So, and of course, always use the big camera, not the selfie camera. The problem is, with the world of technology, the world of, Instagram, the world of TikTok, Twitch, especially Facebook Live, you're reading the comments. And if you're on your phone, you can't use the big camera on the back of the camera and still read the comments. So you're always using the selfie camera. It's just unfortunately the way the game is played. If you don't have a computer to stream with, you gotta have that camera in front of you. So, and even now I have software on my phone that I can switch to. This camera is running Filmic Pro. So this shot right here that I'm talking to is my cell phone, but it's backwards. It's not backwards, I mean. So the eagles are on this side of my head over here, and over there is the billboard. And it looks like, but if I had words up, which I do right there, it's hard to do this. Craftsman right there. You can actually read it because the image is flipped right. Even though I am using the face cam software. That's just the way things are. Little pet peeves that I've picked up over the years. And like I said, I use all of this stuff that I do here on these shows as practice. So, and at the end of the day, it all comes down to practice. I've actually had a very good stream. I've seen a couple glitches on the video. The signal is just, intermittently dropping out here and there. Don't know why. I'm running HDMI fiber cables to all my cameras. Unfortunately, my main camera, it's got a micro HDMI, so I've got to convert that down to regular HDMI. Up or however you want to I've got to convert it to standard HDMI. So, yeah. Yeah, it's just what it is. So, and the reason I use HDMI fiber is because of the fact that you get better length and better stability with your cables. So I'm getting way into other things. I need to use that app more and learn it. Yes, you do, Jeff. Because the nice thing about Filmic Pro, and this is where I'm going to end the stream. So the thing about Filmic Pro, first off, there is a free version. You can use the app for free. It works with Android, Apple devices. It works on phones, tablets. So you're not limited to just, say one brand of phone or one just the phone itself. But the thing about it is Filmic Pro, the developers of Filmic Pro have linked up with Adobe and with other companies to be able to integrate the software. And there's tons of stuff on Filmic Pro that I don't even use. Another nice thing about it is you can save presets, which is what I did. I took a lot of time yesterday. Let me flip to it because I'm talking about it. My eyes will use it. I spent a lot of time last night bouncing back and forth between my two cameras, doing just this, back and forth, getting the lighting as best as I could, getting as close as I could. And and my camera didn't like that glitch. But one of the things that you have to understand is, how do I get back to that same look? How do I get back to that same standard that's there? Well, luckily, the software has a preset setting. The one reason that I got it at first was simply because the number one reason I got this app, and I don't buy that many apps on the Android store. The one reason I did was it provided clean HDMI out of the camera. You can buy adapters all day long, but unless you have a way of converting that HDMI out to a clean HDMI out, you're going to get overlays, you're going to get buttons, on-screen displays. So you have to have an app that will provide you with a clean HDMI out. So, yeah, it comes down to it. You got to use tools that make your life a lot easier. And having two cameras makes things so much better because at the end of the day, all right, so I don't have anything to show you, but I'm going to show you why I prepped this camera on the stream. Because, we're ending the stream, but I wanted to show you anyway. So here's the reason I put that camera in place. Is because I wanted to be able to do stuff and show, if any time I needed to show you something, I wanted to be able to come in here and show you guys what is there. We can even go to YouTube right now. If I'm signed in, we actually could watch the live stream. Hey, look, there's my live stream. Loop through. It's going to loop through itself. It's buffering. There it is. It's going to go back and loop through and loop through and loop through. It's what you call an infinity loop. And it's going to infinity loop forever and ever and ever. But I mean, and that's the cool side of technology. So yeah, and those are the things I like doing. So Jeff says HDMI out only reason I got it as well. So, yes, he understands that. And, and he says, I got the paid version and the remote control app. So, the paid version, I have the paid version as well, but everything I do with the app, you actually can do without the paid version. But the paid version does allow you to have a lot more flexibility, a lot more control, and stuff like that. So if you are going to use it and have that functionality, then yes, it does pay to have it, the paid version. And the final comment of the night, oh boy, that's too many Johns. You can never have too many Johns. I'm not even going to go there because after I said it, I understand why people can take that in the wrong way. So, on that note, I'm going to call the night as it is, and we are going. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Wow, I'm just cutting all over the place. What am I doing? Do I even know what I'm doing anymore? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's getting late. That's just funny. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. But that's that's production. All right, Jeff, what did you say? What? I bet your wife and kids would disagree. With what? That's too many Johns? You can't have too many Johns? Well, seeing that my son is 15, my daughter would disagree with you completely, Jeff, right now. She can't get enough of me. She wants me everywhere I am. She wants me home all the time. And so, yes, that would be, you would be wrong on that count. My wife, yeah, sometimes she wishes I'd be gone. Sometimes she wishes I'd be there. So it's just what it is. And anyway, we are way off topic now. Anyway, you all have a blessed night. And always remember, I end all my biblical studies there this way, and I really need to start ending all of these there this way. God loves you, no matter who you are, or no matter where you are. God bless you. We'll see you next week, right here, same time, same place, on Tech Talk.